One. Hey, everybody. Thank you for coming and checking us out this Sunday. This is James with another episode of the Florida Lifestyler Podcast coming to you live. And today we're coming from the Bronx down to ATL, all the way down to Orlando to roll with your boy Safari from Black Ink, coming to
Yes,
talk
sir.
about his experiences in a lifestyle, how he got in a lifestyle, and how, the conversion from like how did he get the introduction to go to Secrets, and be a tattoo artist at Secrets, which is a very popular place here in Florida. So everybody, welcome Safari to the podcast, and I'm gonna let you take the flow, brother, with your story.
What's going on, lifestylers? It's definitely great to
I'm
be
doing
here with
great. We're
y'all.
doing good
My
out
fellow
here.
lifestylers. Definitely a pleasure to be on your podcast. Man, whatever questions you got, give them to me.
All right, so it says on your profile, you say you went from the Bronx to
Mm-hmm.
ATL to Orlando. What was that transition from coming up from the top of the East Coast all the way down to where we at here in Florida? What made you go into that
So,
transaction and start from that history?
I just left New York, man, for a change of environment, and got to Atlanta. Ended up opening a couple businesses there. Ended up getting married, having some children and stuff like that. And my wife actually introduced me to the lifestyle. She's a little older than me,
Okay.
and she got me involved, and it was something we was like, whoa, this is dope. Like, yo, this is we called it a controlled cheating environment. We was like, yo, we could do this and have fun. It was dope. And then fortunately we ended up getting divorced 13 years later. After all the
Okay.
kids, I ended up moving me and the kids here to Florida to pick up a job. I was already working for Black Ink, and they offered me a position as a GM, and I moved here and was like, boom, got here. Um, Started working in the shop, and a couple of my clients actually introduced me to Secrets.
Mhm.
They came in to get some tattoos and piercings, and they like, "Hey, you want to come to a party tonight?" And I'm like, "What kind of party?" And they was like, "Oh, it's a lifestyle party." And I was like, I've been to a few places like Trapeze and stuff like that in Atlanta. And I was like, they was like, "No, this is better." And I'm like, "Ain't no way." And they invited me out. First night there, I was like, "Nah, this is nuts." I'm like, you know what? Florida's home. I'm not leaving. I'm not going nowhere else. The lifestyle here, everybody was so open and cool. I'm like, I'm staying here. And then ended up dating a young lady, and we made Secrets our home. I ended up becoming a VIP member there. So it's dope, man. I love it. I'm frequent Secrets a lot. We do a lot of business together. So it works
Yeah.
out, works hand in hand.
Yeah, Secrets is a great place. It's very adventurous and it's very up to speed with I like how they present the lifestyle culture in a fun way. So people could go out there and you're right, it's so entertaining. You don't want to go to sleep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, I spend a lot of time there. I spend a lot of money, a lot of time there. So to earn that VIP status is actually a good thing because now I get to go and relax. I don't go as much now since we started doing business together because I
Okay.
don't want to burn my face out and spoil the goodies. So when I do pop up, it's the love I get is totally different than if I was going every day like I used to go. So
Correct. Correct. Now, when you did that event, I seen that online. What was it? What was it that you did with Secrets to let
so
the public know?
question is which one? We've done several.
Oh, okay. So I seen one when you was giving out the free Secrets tattoos.
We did two. We did I think two or three of those. Whenever they
Okay.
have big events, they usually
Explain to the
say,
public
"Hey,
real
we want y'all to
important so
come
they
put
can
the
put that
Secrets
down.
logo on people and stuff like that." But also, if you're familiar with the Hollow Swing Party, that panda that's
Okay.
always running around, that's the Black Ink Panda. That's our mascot. So they usually get me out to bring a crowd out with that too. A lot of our people come out and hang out at all their parties. But at the last event we did, I don't remember the exact name of it, but we gave out free Secrets tattoos, which is they have a select few tattoos that they want just people to get, which is like the Secrets logo, little different stuff like a pineapple with the letter S in it, or like an S with devil horns and a little tail. A bunch of little different lifestyle tattoos that people when you see it, hey, that came from Secrets.
Right. Right. And do you enjoy it? You've been enjoying the lifestyle since you've been in it?
Love it, love it. It's absolutely the most honest group of people I've ever run across in my life. It's
Right,
it's it's,
right.
it's absolutely when I say everybody's welcome you with open arms. That's so dope. The no judgment part of everything is extremely phenomenal. That's something I can deal
Right.
with. You don't gotta hide who you are. You don't have to hide the way you and your other person likes to play and stuff.
Yep.
Everybody's very
Yeah.
open to it. There's no judgment there. And the number one thing that I love, it's no body shaming. Everybody, doesn't matter if you're 105 pounds or you're 350 pounds. Everybody is treated equally and fairly, and nobody acts no kind of way toward each other.
And that right there, what you said, man, is very empowering because that is big, especially coming from our culture of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it was when I jumped in the lifestyle. I've been in it since 2012. I'm in it with my childhood relationship, wife from we've been together since kids. So when I jumped into it, it was really odd in my mind, like, why would I get into this? You know what I'm saying? Why would I do this? Because you know how it is. It's like, yo, we ain't supposed to be doing this, especially from our culture, you know? And so it's like, why am I sharing my wife? Why would she share me? You know what I'm saying? Why this is so taboo. And then when you get
Absolutely,
into it and then you meet more people, you're like, man, this shit, like you said, is empowering, especially how everybody is so loving and caring and understanding. They ain't judging each other, body shaming. There's a lot of that in the vanilla life, you know. In the vanilla life, everybody's so judgmental with
absolutely.
like, yeah, man. And it's funny because a lot of people in the vanilla life live this lifestyle, but
Secretly.
in a deceitful way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in a way of deceit where you could hurt somebody, you know, and we all lived that life before. We probably cheated and stuff. But once you find a lifestyle, you notice how you put yourself in a position that you didn't even have to be in, really.
Absolutely, absolutely. So my thing with it was I was like, people were like, you said people, we shouldn't be doing this from our culture, right? And I
Right,
travel to a lot of countries, and I'm like, only here in America is do people frown upon and is judgmental of people's sexual experiences. And I'm
right,
like, you go to other countries and it's just so free, it's so open. Then I start looking into it, and that's like, hey, all these mammals and stuff, you got cats, dogs, all these different mammals. Um, they're not just stuck with one person for the rest of their one partner for the rest of their lives. You know, they did an experiment. There's no judgment between them. So us as the only mammals on the planet who have a mind of judgment, why should we live in that judgment? Um, so me and my
mm,
lady came to the terms. We're like, hey, how about this? We can do this. We can have fun, right? Let's do it, as long as we're honest about it. You know, if you're gonna do something outside of the house and I'm not around, make me aware of what's gonna go on. The part
mm,
that hurts people the most is when you have to find out on your own time. Like that. That's the hurtful part of this whole thing. So the more you can be honest about it, it's like, hey, we know what's going on, and let's enjoy it. Now, we also came to the two conclusions when we were married for so long. We like, hey, you know what? We didn't experiment with each other and did all kind of craziness, right? But after 10, 12 years, you like, we didn't did everything that's fun. It's kind of getting a little boring here. Let's spice it up. I'm like, hey, I got my limits to things that we gonna do, but let's spice it up. And she would always be like, spice it up. I mean, try something different so we know what we had at home. And that right there took us over the top. We was like, you know what? Our bedroom is so normal to us because we didn't experiment it so much. Let's go out in other places and experiment that same way or with other people and see if it works out. And it worked. It was nothing bad. It was any so now when I look, if I'm dating somebody, if I start dating somebody new, then my first question is, are you a lifestyle participant? And
mm.
majority of them say some know, some don't know, and I got to explain it to them. And majority of them say yeah, and they say, but I've never had nobody that can do it because people get jealous and get emotional behind it. And I'm like, well, not me, baby. Let's go ahead. Let's take baby
Yeah.
steps. If you've never really done it before, let's take baby steps. Let's get into it. It always works out great because I know how to guide the rights from the wrongs. Like this is how things should go.
Yeah.
And there's absolutely that jealousy, that bone that every human has in their body. You gotta can it and get rid of it.
Ooh, yes, and that's right, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big fight to convert into the conversion and the compersion of your life, because jealousy is a that's it's like a knife. That's always it's
Cut you good.
like you push the knife out of you, and you be like, oh, okay, I'm good. And then it'd be like, nah, bitch.
So
You like,
I
nah,
live by a
you gotta
motto.
get that knife out of you and throw it away.
It's crazy. I live by a motto. So I'm a big advocate for domestic violence and stuff too, right? And I say,
Okay,
when me
great.
giving my speeches and stuff, a big part of domestic violence is control. So people control their spouse. And they're like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. I live by a motto. You let every human being that you're dealing with be as free as possible. You can either say you agree to it or don't agree to it. But when you control somebody, say, hey, I don't want you dealing with all these other people, or I don't want you communicating or hanging out with, for example, men say, I don't want my wife hanging out with all these guys, or doing this kind of stuff. I'm
Right.
like, that's controlling. That's a form of domestic violence.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't think of that, but that is because
It
you
is.
are holding somebody from being a self. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You should act on somebody accordingly. If that person got characteristics that you don't agree with, you should separate yourself from someone instead of try to control their situation. That's what you're getting me to analyze from what you're saying. That's real deep, Safari. That's some good shit, man. Some good game,
Yo,
because
appreciate that.
that is true. There's many forms of abuse
Yep.
instead of physically abusing somebody.
Mentally is there, bro. Mentally, most domestic violence is mental, and people don't understand that. So I say I travel around. There's a guy from North Carolina, from Asheville. Actually, he actually was one like, hey, listen, let's. He loved the way I think. And he was like, you've had some experiences, and you are able to speak, and the things that you're speaking um, need to be heard. And a lot of people don't want to hear it when I tell them, hey, listen, domestic violence is more physical. I mean, more mental than physical, and people didn't understand that. And people would misuse the words like narcissist and stuff like that. And I would always break it down to
Right.
them like, the word narcissist in a dictionary says somebody who thinks highly of themselves, right? Or who feels should put themselves first. Well, as a child, your parent always told you you should always think the best of yourself. You should always think you're better than anybody else. You should always want to be the best at whatever you do. And people misconstrue the term narcissist and make it into a negative thing. It has there's pros and there's cons of that word, but 99% of domestic violence is stems from people misusing the word narcissist because they feel that they say, hey, this person's a narcissist. And I said, what do you mean by they're a narcissist? And he says, oh, they're a liar and a cheat. I said, that has nothing to do with the word narcissist.
Mm.
Um, that has
Let's
nothing
break
to
it
do with it.
down, man. You're saying some good stuff for the public.
Like it's I tell people, read the dictionary. People misuse a lot of words, especially in the lifestyle. I see that a lot. People just see trendy words on social media and stuff and use them. And I said, always been one of those brothers. Self-educate yourself. Pick up a dictionary. Read these words. Matter of fact, we're in 2025. You don't need to pick up a dictionary. Get on Google. Read the definition of these words before you make a decision on how to use them, and you use them wrongly, and people like me are looking at you like you're ignorant, and decide to stay away from you because I see that your judgment and your mentality is kind of canned.
This is real deep stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, because that's what this channel is made for, to educate and put people on game from different aspects. You know what I'm saying? And I like that, man. And like, 'cause I was interviewing a couple last episode, and we was talking deeper, like about how people think they got to be under the influence to play. You know what I'm
Absolutely not.
saying? And things like that. Like, cause even though I smoke my little weed, I tell her, I was like, man, when I'm at secrets, or I'm at like a resort or a party that I throw, or just even the environment of swingers, the love alone is so overwhelming. It's a high alone, man. Like
Absolutely.
that love is. I never felt such a powerful source of love. Be around
Absolutely.
all these people at one time. We all in mind, and we're relieving ourselves from our world of pressure, because a lot of us is highly, highly productive people with a lot of pressures. You know what I'm saying? So you want to get into this lifestyle and just relax, you let it go. You know what I'm saying? And that shit, it feels so good, man. It's so overpowering. And I'm really glad that you're doing. The reason I mentioned them with their sobriety because they've been fighting sobriety. They're sober for like 20 years plus. One of them and the other one been sober for like almost a decade. And it's just that like you're advocating for something, you know what I'm saying? And I
Mhm.
appreciate you advocating for something that helps people grow stronger. Just like they
Absolutely.
advocated for that, and I advocate for us Florida because that's us being a unit as one. You know, they got all those the many groups, but I made this group to be one group under the sun, under the Florida sun. You know what I'm saying? Bring us together as a culture as a whole. And you're advocating for domestic violence, and that is very important because in a lifestyle, it probably goes on more than we think it is mentally. You know, because like you said, everybody thinking domestic violence is somebody walking through the door slapping your ass down. No, I see it in lifestyle. It's a lot of domestic violence.
Listen, and it's
When you
crazy
put it in
that you
that
say that.
aspect,
I was trying not to go there,
there's
right?
a lot of domestic violence in the lifestyle. People making it one sided. You know what I'm
I
saying?
was
Not
trying not
showing
to
enough
go there, but
compersion.
the reality of it is, and I speak with a lot of lifestylers, and I see stuff like I see there's couples that play, and it's everybody has their levels to how they play. You got your soft swap couples, hard swap, you got all different levels, right? And I notice
Right,
sometimes when I see a lot of the soft swap couples, and I'm like, all right, it's just they only want to allow a female into their play area. And I always ask them, and I say, why is that you only want to allow a female into the play area? And it says, I don't want my woman with another guy and stuff like that. And I'm like, is there some insecurities there? Is there a form of jealousy? What's going on? Explain to me why. Because your needs are being satisfied. What about your woman's needs? Like, what do you not think she wants to experience another male or the person? Just not even if it's not sexual, the personality of another male. Why can't that be a
right,
thing?
right,
And people they're like, well, no, that's not how we roll. And I'm like, well, then maybe you guys shouldn't be part of the lifestyle. You know,
right,
this
right.
lifestyle
Because
should
it's
be
not about
open
the
and
full
everybody's
swap. It's about the mental capacity that you have for what you're
absolutely,
saying.
absolutely. And I tell people, well, maybe this isn't for you. I've been in parties and stuff, and with my wife, and we've been and found a couple, and we're like, hey, we hanging out. And my wife, she's the trigger man. She's like, I'm starting off, I'm jumping off quick, right? And she was getting it. We had one day we were having a session. We're in Trapeze in Atlanta.
Okay.
And I'm sitting back. Me, I just like to chill. I like to observe the scenery, and I like to let the women enjoy themselves first before I said, hey, I call this man. I said, let's not be towel sharks. Let's let them enjoy themselves because ultimately, your goal is to keep your woman happy and let her enjoy herself. It's
Right,
easier for
right.
us to enjoy and have a little more fun than it is for them. So let them
Mhm.
have their fun. Um, and everything was going cool. And the fella jumped over there, and my wife is on. They get to having their fun, and I said, you know what? Maybe it's time when I go ahead and get over to the play area. And as soon as his wife grabs me, he grabs her by the neck, and I was like, whoa! Immediately stop it. So I grabbed security. I'm like, hey, this is what I don't do. We don't do this. And he was like, she
Right,
can't touch another man. I said, hold on. Um, my wife is here hanging out with y'all. And he was like, yeah, you could watch. Your wife could play. I said, this is not how we roll. I said, you should have made that clear before we decided to all hang out. But I said, what you just did to me was I was very uncomfortable with the situation. And therefore, I don't think me and my wife can continue to hang out with y'all. We're gonna exit this situation here now. And he was like, well, no, we can still hang out. We can still hang out. My old lady says it's okay. And I said, but no, it's not okay for your old lady to play. So we're not doing this. Um, and from there, I left Trapeze. I contacted the manager up there, and I'm like, hey, listen, this is a situation. They threw the guy out anyway. They saw it on camera and all that stuff. They saw him drug over into the locker room and all that kind of stuff. So they banned
yeah.
him. So I reached out to them after and was like, we got this. Got to be something in place to kind of stop this kind of stuff because some people aren't really lifestyle participants. You got some people jumping in into it for their own greed, and it's usually a lot of males jump into it trying to satisfy their own personal greed and not thinking about their spouses um, at the same time. So We spoke about it. We were actually supposed to get something together and put some rules in place and kind of give some educational courses on what is allowed and not allowed in lifestyle events, but we never got around to it. They started saying backing out. They were like, "No, this might not be good for us. This might become a situation where people think that it's a bunch of controlled women here and all that kind of stuff." And I said, "You're thinking a little too far into it. Spread the awareness and limit the people. Make sure the people that are coming in here they understand the rules of your establishment.
Right.
Giving them the
Right.
basic rules of not just saying no cameras, be respectful. That doesn't tell them not to be controlling to their spouse. You know."
Right. And I like what you stand up for, man. That is very, very powerful. Do you speak about this on your, well, I know you probably don't speak about this on your platform and crossbreed it with your tattooing, but um this
Oh, I
is
do.
very,
I
oh,
do.
you do.
I do. Listen, brother. So
Awesome,
the
awesome,
tattoo
bro. Cause this
industry
is powerful
actually they
information,
love
bro.
that. They like, hey, you're into the lifestyle, you're in tattoos. I decided to cross tattooing and lifestylers together because a lot of lifestylers love tattoos. They love piercings, right? It's a
Yeah,
thing for us. Now, a lot of tattoo shops are like, no, that's weird. We're not going in places like that. You know, we all have wives and children and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, look at it from a business standpoint. This is a crowd of people
correct.
you want because they spend money, um, and they're respectful. In
Right.
my shop, while I'm there daily, you know, I don't tattoo personally. I have a full crew that does, but I'm a piercer. Um, and when I'm in the shop, people come in like, "Hey, you look familiar," and I'm like, "They like, I know you from somewhere." So at the shop, I'm kind of like, "Where you know me from?" And they'll say it out loud. We'll laugh
Yeah.
and giggle. A lot of people from Secrets come to my shops and stuff, and they say, "Hey, listen, we're happy that we can come here without being judged because we go to other tattoo shops and people find out what we do and stuff like that, and they act a little weird with us." And I said, but tattoo artists are similar to lifestylers. We live a wild life. Like body mod and
Right.
tattooing industry is it's like rock stars. It's a lot of sex going on, a lot of people mingling and interacting with each other. Why it is so
Right.
judgmental? So I cut that gap. Boom. We gonna bridge them. We gonna make it happen. And people are now starting to see, yo, this is actually absolutely dope. That the tattoo industry and lifestyle goes hand in hand. It's a thing that needed to be done. That's just like bridging the gaps within different industries. They can go hand in hand because the clients, people are just scared to touch different clients because they're afraid of what people's gonna say.
Right. Right. And that's great, man. This is great and powerful. I'm glad that you got to get into the lifestyle. I'm glad that you got to get into the Florida scene of the lifestyle because I don't know too much about, I lived in Atlanta for a while, but I never got into the scene of it. I was more in an underground um, part of the lifestyle, Craigslist and stuff. When I started, it was Craigslist. We still was hitting people up on the street, casualty encounters.
Yo,
We
listen,
was in our
Atlanta's a
mid
different
twenties,
place.
you know.
Atlanta's a different place. Atlanta has a lot of underground lifestyle events going on, but people there are
Yeah,
so judgmental. Um, they're like, hey, they try to keep it real secretive. Here in Florida, it was just like everywhere you turn, boom, lifestyle, lifestyle, lifestyle.
right,
And I'm like,
right.
you know what? So when I moved here, everybody used to tell me about the villages, right? And they like, oh, it's just a place. I'm like, and I said, let me go check this out. Well, the rumors were absolutely not what everybody was saying it was. Um, but
Please, thanks for putting that out, man.
like people just think, oh, you gonna go to the villages and it's a bunch of swingers and STDs and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, you're wrong. That's not what it really is. It just got a stigma because they used to host a lot of lifestyle parties there. Um,
But
so, and I started around and say, you know what? I live literally about 8 minutes from Secrets, right? So that's my backyard. On the late nights, all other bars and stuff is closed. That's where we go. Me and my lady, we go
uh,
down there, and we'll have some drinks and stuff. It's not always about playing, you know. It's just the people in
yeah,
general.
yeah. It's not all about playing. It's about just connecting, because it's our culture of people, right? It's like you
Mm-hmm.
found your cult in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's not really a secret society, but it's your group. You know, everybody has their group, and I pray that one day this become more acceptable to the on the legal side, like the others, like other cultures are acceptable to the legal side. You know what I'm saying? Because this really helps save couples and give them time to be honest and open. You know what I'm saying? And give them time to communicate embrace each other themselves. Like me and my wife been together 20 years, man. So I
Beautiful thing.
thank you, bro. But we've been through a lot. Like we've been through almost every aspect of in a relationship in these 20 years because we was children growing up. So I just came to a realization in my mid 20s, like I grew up around a lot of relationships and seeing people living infidelity and stuff. And it's like, man, if I'm gonna stay with her, that's the last thing I want. Is to keep up. Cause we had some infidelity issues when we was children. But as we got into our 20s, a little later, I'm like, yo, I wanna cancel this out because this is the most common thing that's gonna happen with us being together so long. It already happened when we got together. So it's like I definitely want this to be something that we could be open, be communicative, and I love community. I love unity. I love people as one, you know what I'm saying? And it's a great way to unite people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so glad I entered this lifestyle, man. I'm so glad of people like you and others who embrace this lifestyle.
Man, I'm open with the lifestyle. Listen, I was on national TV with a pineapple shirt, right? We were
Oh,
filming.
man,
We were filming for
representing,
this.
man.
Listen, we were filming for the show, for the Black Ink Crew show, season 10. Right? We were filming in Orlando, and I walk in and I got this shirt on. Like I forgot we were even filming this day, and I get there and I see all of the trucks outside, the film crews and stuff, and I'm like, hey, oh well. And we film, and then my boss hits me one day and he was like, man, you a wild boy. And I'm like, what you talking about? He was like, man, you done made national TV with your pineapple shirt on. And I'm like, well,
Yeah,
serious?
yeah,
So
it's
I go
so
back.
normal to you. You didn't even notice it.
I didn't even notice it because it's just I like the shirt, right? And I go ahead and I go back and look, and I'm like, wow. And my Instagram is going crazy. People are like, yo, do you know what that means? And I'm like, of course I know what it means. I bought the shirt for a reason. Thank you to my life. And people are like, oh, are you serious? Some people were weirded out by like, oh yeah, no, we can't be cool with you. And I'm like, fine, fine, so be it. I'm not worried about your friendship. Like, find out what I live by a slogan. Find out when you fucking broke. Love won't get you on a bus sometimes. Like, I
Mm,
don't need your fake love. I can't do nothing with that. So you can go ahead and go about your business. And the people that's
that
gonna
is deep
accept
what
me
you
is gonna
said.
love me for who I am, and we're gonna do business together. We're gonna do all kind of stuff that matters. Those who hated and felt some kind of way, I blocked them. I removed them from my social media platforms, and my followers. Maybe the 100 people I blocked, I didn't gain 2,000 followers for that 100 people I blocked.
Right, right. That is true. And you're gonna gain better supporters, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? People who actually support you because of who you are versus for what they choose to like you for. You know what I'm
Ain't no
saying?
faking around here, baby.
Right, right. And that's good what you say about the people like when people neglect you for this. You know what I'm saying? It's really big because I got family members that I grew up with. They was in the LGBTQ community, right? I never understood ask feeling so you're not neglecting them like the world neglecting them. So you like, man, you still cool. You my cousin, regardless. You my family. We vibing. But then you see how they talk about how the world do them, right? And then you like, man, whatever, man. They ain't really like that type deal until you get into a situation where your culture is looked at as the same way.
So
And
listen,
then you're
the
like,
same here too.
oh, I get it. Because I,
I've
I personally didn't understand it. So I got in the culture and I got more open with the culture. And now I know how my family felt when certain people neglected them for their personal choices of being who they in their truth. And I'm like, oh, this is what it feels like.
mm-hmm.
You know?
So
So
that's another thing that I do as well too here, right? At my shops and stuff, any of my businesses, I open the LGBTQ plus community with open arms, right? Now
that's
people look
good.
at me and they have said something weird. They're like, oh, you got something you want to touch. I said, no, 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 no. Let's get this straight. Let's get this 100% straight. It's not my thing. But
Right.
I welcome them with open arms because so many people have negativity against them. A lot of tattoo shops will not tattoo gay and trans
Understand.
men. A lot of people won't hire gay and trans men, right? I say,
Right.
hey, these gay men can talk to everybody. They can blend in, male or female. They can blend in. They have a personality that's dope because they so used to have to dealing with so many different styles of people or types of people. I hired transgender artists. That was one thing in the tattoo industry that you rarely didn't see. There's several artists that are here in Orlando that are drag artists. And people look at them and say, "Oh, how you cool with them? You cool with them? That's weird." And I'm like, "It's weird." I said, "But they're conducting business, and you're going to stay broke because you don't want to conduct business with people based on how they look or what they do with their lifestyle. That person has nothing to
Right.
do with you. So stop
You
that.
know what I'm saying?
Like,
Somebody's sexual preference has nothing to do with
do with
anybody.
me.
That's
Like, I go out and have dinner with them and have a good old time and laugh and joke, right?
yeah.
I go out with my other friends that's judgmental, and I'm like, when the bill come, everybody looking, and I'm like, oh no, I don't like hanging out with y'all no more. Like,
Everybody looking after they done chalked your head up about all kind of bullshit.
yeah, I'm cool. Listen, I'm open. I'm in open arms with everybody. People are people, no matter what you do in life. I'm down for it.
Correct.
I'm cool. I respect it. Long as you don't disrespect me per se.
Right. Correct. And that's what I learned in this lifestyle. And that's what helped me too. It helped me learn that. And I learned a lot of judgment because I was from I come from the streets, at one point in time in my life. So I had those ethics in my head and those codes that, a lot of those make you ignorant to a lot of situations. And I'm glad that I always been a nerd, so I always had an open mind, you know what I'm saying, at the same time. So it's like I'm glad that I actually got into the lifestyle because it got me to break a lot of judgmental barriers that I used to have. You know what I'm
Absolutely,
saying? And yeah, that's why I said I understand where my cousins come from. I never was against LGBT people like as in a hate, but I never understood the culture until I got in a culture where I actually we go through the same stigma they go through and stuff. So it's like, yo, I totally get it. And people are people and we need to love each other as one. You know what
absolutely,
I'm saying? Because
absolutely,
hey, and not to get deep, but that's it. They talk about God and love. That's what love is, right? We
absolutely,
all are the
brother.
same image. Yeah.
Smart man for opening your mind up, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. I always just be open to things, man. I always want to be the best version of myself and
Absolutely,
reflect that on others, because we are all made in the same image and it's just all about peace and unity, man, at the end of the day, because everything else is just destructive. you know. And that's why I created Florida Lifestyle Group, bro. I was thinking one day and I was like, I want to create something that represents us as a culture. I tried to do like a little organization, little groups here and there, and it just didn't feel right, because I don't like all that separation stuff. I created I was like Florida. Like you can't be if you from Florida, you part of this.
yeah, absolutely. So speaking of separation, actually, what we gonna do is, you got me on your podcast, right? So I'm gonna
Right.
return the favor and I'm gonna get you on mine, right? But mine's a little different. It's not a lifestyle of podcast, but it's called Trading Places.
Okay.
We trading places. When I say it's a black and white thing. So we trading places. We giving a lot of brothers that have grown up in suburban areas that get called Oreos and all that kind of stuff a chance to voice their opinions. And we can go and give each other the jokes that people are scared to say in public. Like, you got a lot of white dudes that grew up in black cultures. You got a lot of black dudes that grew up in white cultures. So that's what we
Yeah.
came with the name Trading Places. And we can sit this down there and say, hey, this is the whitest black dude I know, and this is the blackest white dude I know. It's me and a guy named Dr. Blasphemy. He's from the radio station from Baltimore. And we have a blast, bro. We go crazy. We can say back and stuff, all the stuff like he's like, hey, why does black people do this? I'm like, why do white people do this? And he's like, but that's some of the stuff that you do. And I'm like, so what makes it white and black, right? Like we go
Right.
back and forth with it all day. We're actually we was thinking about getting some people from a different lifestyle to join. And I think you're gonna be the perfect one to get on there. You and a shout out to
Oh
Justin Jordan from
man.
Secrets. as well. I'm gonna have them join as well. Probably get all you guys together, and we're gonna do something dope, man, and just have some laughs and some crap, talk some shit. Between
Oh, that'd be
lifestylers and
great, man.
non-lifestylers, it's gonna go
That'd be
crazy.
great. That would be great. Me and Jordan, I actually did a secret interview with them. I don't know if you've seen it. Me and my wife,
Mm-hmm.
we actually did a Secrets Hideaway interview with Justin Jordan. Man, I met Jordan. That man, that guy so hard. It got a little deep during the interview. We
That's
had to
my
keep
bro.
going.
That's my bro.
But
Jordan's my bro. Jordan and Jess, I love them. If you ask him about me, ask him about some. Say, hey, ask him about Safari.
they
Even
so
Junior,
genuine, man. That shit was so
man, I love them.
genuine and down to earth, man. I just like genuine shit, man.
Yo, I love
Anything
them.
that's genuine, I love it.
They constantly, if you look on their Instagram page and stuff, they constantly, every time they do a lot of promos, they come by my shop and we sit down and we laugh, we joke. I do a lot of their tattoos and stuff now, so we got a real deep connection here, man. We like family around here now, man.
That is awesome, and I love to join the family too, man. So just hit me up whenever you're ready, and we could just contact me, let me know the schedule, and we could definitely get this scheduled out so I can participate for you as well. Because I don't
Absolutely,
stay far; I only stay an hour away from Orlando.
that's not bad. That's not bad.
No,
So we'll
not at
probably
all.
it'll be something digital because we moving. Like I go back on tour next week, so I'll be on
Okay.
tour from September 4th. Every weekend I'm going until November 16th that weekend. So I'm only home Tuesday and Wednesdays of each week, but every
Yeah.
other weekend outside of that, I'm gone. I'm gone, and when my tour ends, I'll be able to get back into secrets and do some stuff on the weekends and stuff like that. I really want to do Hollow Swing again. If you're able to make it out to that, it's gonna be dope. I'm gonna see if we can go ahead and get something together and we get Black Ink Panda back out. It was a dope turnout last year. It was fun.
Okay.
We in tune with each other, man.
Yeah, that's nice, man. I really enjoyed this conversation with you, Mr. Safari, and I thank you for taking your time out to come and show some love to the Florida Lifestyle Group. Now, before we head out, I got one more question. When you hear Florida Lifestyle Group, or just the term Florida Lifestyle, what do you think of?
I think palm trees and naked people, baby. That's it. Like that's what I see. I see palm trees and naked people. People partying like we in Vegas or Miami, bro. All I see is happy people. And that's what came to my mind. When I saw your Instagram the first time, right? I'm scrolling Instagram and I don't know how it popped up. And I gotta follow them. Boom. Then I was on FetLife and I think I saw y'all on FetLife too. And I'm like, what's this? What's going on here? And I followed the Instagram and stuff. And I'm like, nah, this is these kind of dope. I think we chatted a little bit on Fet or on Instagram. It was one of them we chatted a little bit. And
okay.
I was like, oh, nah, this is dope. This is dope. My name on Fet is not matching up with Safari because I did that to kind of keep certain people out of my business. But then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get back on there and change it, and just let everybody know. Whoever go looking, let them find it. I don't care. I'm comfortable with myself, and I'm proud of what I stand for.
It's gonna broaden your brand.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna broaden your brand. It's gonna find your cult following.
Absolutely. But yeah, when I came across your page, I was like, yo, this is dope. Yo, dude, and his lady, they got something dope going on. This is cool. I'm happy I did that. And to see it's an interracial couple, I'm like, this is fire. This is fire.
Man, everybody says this. Everybody inspired and said, and I'm really grateful for that, man. How you guys see the love and the passion I actually have for this, and I'm very thankful for all y'all taking y'all time out. Cause me and my wife, we was on Bang Bros back in the days. We did porn, but that stuff didn't. I love the erotic art, but it started to turn to more like the media, like. It took my love for erotic and this lifestyle and it turned it more media. So I had to get back to my roots of love.
Yep. Me and my lady down the same thing. Interracial couples, we live in and we just enjoy life daily. People was like, how y'all so open with each other? And I said, I'm like, the reason why is because we got two different lifestyles that we blend in. We blended and we sticking in one and it works out.
Well, it's good talking to you, man. We're gonna continue to catch up. And this is Florida, and this is our lifestyle, man. We out of here.
Peace.
Thank you, Safari.
Yo, love, brother. You can hit me outside of here.
All right, I will. I'll definitely text you as soon as we get off of this call.
Yes, sir. Be safe, my brother.
All right.
And lifestylers, appreciate you guys for having me. Thank you, Florida Lifestyle. I'm the biggest supporter here now. If you ever need anything, make sure you stop by and check us out, Black Ink Orlando. And we're going to make sure we pump the Florida Lifestylers too. You heard?
For real, link is in the description, right at the bottom to find everywhere you need to know to contact Safari for tattoos, everything, booking and more, baby. Yeah.
And let's not forget, we the #1 black tattoo shop in the country and the largest in the country. And we're the only ones that specialize in melanated skin tones and stuff. So doesn't matter what your skin tone, who you are, come and see us. Everybody's welcome.
All right. That's the info. All
Yes,
right,
sir.
we out of here. One love, Safari. Talk to you
Peace.
later.
Discover your ideal apparel that truly represents your essence in the vibrant state of Florida, exclusively at FloridaLifestyler.com. Embrace the unique Florida lifestyle with our carefully curated collection, designed to reflect the spirit of our beautiful state. Join us in celebrating the diverse culture and dynamic energy that make Florida a remarkable place to live and thrive. Shop now and elevate your wardrobe with styles that resonate with who you are.